Consumer advocacy group Choice looked at 10 major stadiums around Australia and found 4 are using face scanning cameras. The SCG and Sydney Football Stadium, the Superdome at Sydney Olympic Park and the MCG. As K-pop fans raised their cameras at the Sydney Superdome last month, they too were being caught on film. Their faces were scanned by cameras that collect biometric information and create unique face prints. It's a trend not everyone's comfortable with.
So I think it's pretty unfair if the government or whoever uses the information just stores it on a database. It could be a breach of privacy, it's unethical, immoral.
The technology's been used to identify banned sports fans at the gate, but experts say there aren't enough protections against misuse and stronger regulation is needed.
What this can lead to is a kind of surveillance. That starts to be a problem in the kind of commercial area, but it becomes more of a problem as we see it being used by government.
It's more than a few things that bother me about the pro-censorship nuts. And one of those things is how they have personalized their position on speech and expression. Personalized, like how they're able to name people that they want deplatformed. They're able to name groups that they want silenced. And those things are a demonstration of just how shallow their depth perception is. Their understanding of how encompassing this thing actually is very shallow and nearsighted. It's like those blinders that they put on horses to make the horse only able to see what's in front of it rather than what's in front of it and what's around it. And sometimes it is good to have blinders on to stay focused though. Sometimes it is, but other times it's better to be able to see everything.
Now let's go to how NBC edited a post-match interview with CJ Stroud, a quarterback for the Houston Texans. See if you can work out the bit NBC edited out when this aired. Here's the unedited version.
Your first NFL season and a record-setting performance for you. What does this moment mean?
First and foremost, I just want to give all glory and praise to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's been amazing being in this city for as short as I've been, but the love that I've got, I've really just been doing it for Houston, man. People back home, I'm blessed enough being in the position I am.
And this is the version that was replayed again and again.
CJ, your first playoff game in your first NFL season and a record-setting performance for you. What does this moment mean?
I mean, it's been amazing being in this city for as short as I've been, but the love that I've got, I've really just been doing it for Houston, man. People back home, I'm blessed enough being in the position I am.
Yes, I wonder what that little bit was cut.
Why do that? Did he call someone a nigger or a wetback? No. The man just mentioned Jesus and got censored. Now, is Jesus hate speech, though? I guess, of course it is. Of course it is, according to the maniacs powering this censorship movement. According to them, everything is hate and harm speech to them. Everything. And this is one of the things that bugs me about the pro-censorship people and how they'll cite things that could easily be considered hate speech, like racial slurs, not realizing that stuff like Jesus is hate too.
Oh, shit.
And I'm only giving benefit of the doubt to some of the pro-censorship people when I say that they don't realize certain things. Because the other ones, they do realize how dangerous this censorship stuff is, but they don't care. Because they only care about restricting others more than they care about their own freedoms. They don't care if they end up in chains and gagged. They only care about seeing other people chained up and gagged right next to them.
Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all if it ain't. Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. Some people.
The pro-censorship people, they don't realize how dangerous it is to edit history like that. What you just saw from Alicia Keys was the manufacturing of history instead of what actually happened. That little crack in her voice, that's normal. It happens to musicians and everything. It even happens to us that's not musicians. We'll crack up a bit. But the point is how the public who didn't see it live, they will think that she nailed it perfectly. Those edits with Alicia Keys and Jesus Guy is likened to book burnings. It's the same thing, where people were trying to erase history. Those edits are likened to a cop falsifying a police report, conjuring up a whole new version of events to create the reality that the cops want to be seen, rather than what actually happened. And those two edits of the NFL, those were just small examples of what's really going on here, globally. Meanwhile, clowns are on here only concerned with the people who they want to get kicked off of YouTube.
Madison Square Garden Entertainment has been getting some heat recently for using facial recognition technology that's built into their security cameras in some rather petty ways. You would think that tech like this would primarily be used to identify criminals or maybe people who had previously been trespassed from the premise. But in this case, it was used to identify and then have security kick out patrons that were even slightly associated with a law firm that was involved in a lawsuit against the company. Yep, they've basically gone full 1984, especially when you consider how far removed Kelly Colon, the lady that was escorted out of the venue, was from this lawsuit. She had never practiced law in New York or ever been involved in any lawsuits against MSG Entertainment, but she was an associate for Davis, Saperstein, and Solomon, which was involved in a lawsuit against a restaurant that was then later purchased by MSG Entertainment.
The pro-censorship idiots and their lack of depth perception right there.
I've got one that can see.
You see, because censorship entails a lot of things, including surveillance. And not just of the bad people, but surveillance of everybody at all times. Just like everything will be deemed as harmful and hateful speech. Meanwhile, clowns are only concerned with the people that they don't want on YouTube no more.
30 to 40 group, take your places, please. Right. Let's see which one of us can touch his toes.
And let me leave with this. Later on today, or maybe even right after I upload this video, I may do it right away. But later on today, I'm going to re-upload a video I did in March of 2022. Yeah, I went and checked the date of the upload. I'm going to re-upload a video I did in March of 2022 because I saw something yesterday. And, well, really, I've been uploading old videos onto this channel and putting them on Rumble anyway. But this one, titled, Don't Watch This Video, I will be re-uploading that one specifically because of what I saw yesterday. And that's it for now.